Ladies and gentlemen, in our relationships with others, especially with those we hold close, wisdom dictates restraint, respect, and understanding. It is not the grand gestures, but the consistent, mindful actions or actions that sustain harmony. Today I wish to speak to you, guided by the timeless principles of Stoic wisdom, about what you must never do with her, or anyone for that matter. If you value connection, respect, and mutual growth. 1. Never dismiss her voice. To dismiss another's perspective is to declare your own the only one that matters. Do not drown out her voice with your certainty or pride. Wisdom lies in listening, truly listening, not merely hearing with the intent to reply. Each person carries within them a world of thoughts, experiences, and emotions that deserve acknowledgement. To disregard her words is to sever trust and understanding. 2. Never weaponize emotion. Anger, frustration, or disappointment may arise, but do not wield them as weapons. Stoic wisdom reminds us, it is not the external event but our reaction to it that harms us. Let your emotions be tempered by reason and kindness. To lash out, to manipulate, or to seek control through guilt or fear is to poison the relationship, bit by bit. 3. Never mock her vulnerability. When someone shares their fears, dreams, or insecurities with you, they are offering you a sacred trust. Treat it as such. Do not trivialize her struggles or mock her openness. Strength is not in tearing others down, but in holding space for them to rise. 4. Never demand what you do not give. Respect, loyalty, and kindness are not entitlements, but reciprocal acts. To demand what you yourself withhold is hypocrisy. Ask yourself, am I offering what I wish to receive? The Stoics taught us to focus not on controlling others, but on governing ourselves. Lead with example, not expectation. 5. Never hold grudges against her. To harbor resentment is to drink poison and expect another to suffer. Forgiveness is a virtue, not for their sake, but for your own peace of mind. If you must confront a wrong, do so calmly and with purpose. But once addressed, release the burden. Do not weigh the relationship down with the chains of unresolved bitterness. 6. Never place her worth in what she does for you. A person's value is intrinsic. It is not measured by how well they meet your expectations, how much they give, or how far they go to please you. To value her only when she serves you is to dehumanize her. See her as she is, complete, independent, and whole. And love her, not for her utility, but for her essence. 7. Never forget the transience of life. Every moment is fleeting. Relationships, no matter how profound, exist within the confines of time. The Stoics remind us to cherish the present, for it is all we truly have. Do not squander time on petty disputes, neglect, or indifference. Treat her and everyone you meet as if today were your last chance to show kindness, gratitude, and love. Respect and empathy form the foundation of every meaningful relationship, whether it be personal, professional, or social. These two principles are not just virtues to aspire to, but essential practices that dictate the quality and depth of human connections. Respect is the recognition of another person's inherent value, acknowledging their individuality, beliefs, thoughts, and emotions without judgment or devaluation. Empathy, on the other hand, is the ability to deeply understand and share another person's feelings, seeing the world from their perspective, and responding with care and sensitivity. Together, these qualities foster an environment where trust, openness, and mutual understanding can thrive. To embody respect is to acknowledge the intrinsic worth of another person, irrespective of their differences or disagreements. Respect does not require agreement, rather it requires recognition. It is the ability to see someone as a unique individual with their own experiences, challenges, and worldview. This recognition is fundamental in preventing actions or words that may belittle or diminish them. Respectful behavior includes listening attentively without interrupting, refraining from dismissive or condescending language, and avoiding assumptions about another person's thoughts or feelings. It is an active choice, practiced consistently, and it shapes the dynamics of any interaction. Empathy complements respect by allowing us to move beyond mere acknowledgement and into the realm of understanding. While respect recognizes the person, empathy seeks to connect with their experiences and emotions. It is a deliberate effort to step into their shoes, to feel what they feel, and to see the world as they see it. This does not mean losing oneself or adopting their perspectives as one's own, but rather cultivating a deeper appreciation for their reality. Empathy requires attentiveness, patience, and emotional openness. It calls for listening not just to the words someone speaks, but to the emotions behind those words. The pauses, the hesitations, and the unspoken truths that often reveal more than what is said. Together, respect and empathy act as a shield against misunderstanding and conflict. Many disagreements stem not from the content of the discussion, but from the manner in which people feel they are being treated. When someone feels disrespected, ignored, or invalidated, they are less likely to engage constructively and more likely to respond defensively. However, when they feel seen, heard, and valued, the space for dialogue opens up. Respect and empathy, therefore, are not passive virtues. They are active tools that facilitate resolution, collaboration, and growth. Practicing respect and empathy requires self-awareness. It begins with the understanding that our perspective is limited and that our assumptions may not always align with someone else's reality. This awareness creates the humility needed to approach others with curiosity rather than judgment. It also involves recognizing our own biases and prejudices, those subconscious filters through which we interpret the actions and words of others. By addressing these biases, we become better equipped to interact with people in ways that affirm their dignity and humanity. Respect also demands consistency. It is easy to show respect to those we admire or agree with, but true respect is demonstrated when it is extended to those who challenge us, disagree with us, or hold beliefs that differ from our own. Similarly, empathy requires effort and intention. It is not enough to claim empathy in principle. It must be expressed in action. This might mean taking the time to listen to someone's concerns, even when we are busy, or setting aside our own judgments to better understand their struggles. It could also involve acknowledging the ways in which our actions or words may have unintentionally hurt someone, and taking steps to make amends. In relationships, respect and empathy are the glue that holds people together during times of strain. They create an atmosphere where difficult conversations can take place without fear of judgment or rejection. When someone feels respected, they are more likely to open up, share their thoughts, and express their vulnerabilities. Empathy, in turn, allows us to respond to these expressions with compassion rather than criticism. This dynamic fosters a sense of safety and trust, which are essential for any relationship to thrive. On a societal level, respect and empathy are the antidotes to division and polarization. In a world marked by diversity in culture, beliefs, and experiences, these virtues enable us to coexist peacefully. They challenge us to move beyond stereotypes and to see each person as an individual rather than as a representative of a group or category. Respect and empathy encourage dialogue rather than debate, understanding rather than separation. They remind us that every person we encounter is fighting battles we may not see, and that our role is not to judge but to support. It is important to note that respect and empathy are not about ignoring boundaries or tolerating harmful behavior. True respect includes respecting oneself and recognizing when to protect one's own well-being. Similarly, empathy does not mean excusing someone's actions, but understanding the context behind them. These virtues are not about sacrificing oneself for the sake of others. They are about creating a balance where both parties feel valued and understood. Respect and empathy also play a crucial role in fostering personal growth. When we approach others with these qualities, we open ourselves up to learning from their experiences and perspectives. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to expand our understanding of the world and to challenge our own assumptions. This growth is not one-sided, it is mutual. By treating others with respect and empathy, we inspire them to do the same, creating a ripple effect that can transform not only relationships, but entire communities. In conclusion, the practice of respect and empathy is not merely an ideal to aspire to, but a necessity for meaningful human connection. These qualities transcend differences, heal divides, and create spaces where people can truly thrive. They require effort, intention, and a commitment to seeing and valuing others as they are. In a world that often prioritizes self-interest and competition, choosing respect and empathy is a radical act. One that has the power to change lives, strengthen bonds, and foster a more compassionate society. Self-mastery is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. The way we govern our emotions, thoughts, and actions directly shapes how we connect with others and the dynamics we create in those interactions. Relationships are not merely about what the other person brings to the table. They are deeply influenced by how we conduct ourselves in every moment of engagement. To master oneself is to take responsibility for one's role in every interaction, recognizing that the foundation of trust, respect, and harmony begins within. It is about managing impulses, choosing responses over reactions, and consistently striving to embody virtues that uplift rather than harm. In the context of relationships, self-mastery begins with awareness. It requires an honest appraisal of one's tendencies, triggers, and patterns of behavior. Often we carry unexamined habits into our interactions, habits born of past experiences, unresolved emotions, or societal conditioning. Without awareness, these habits dictate our responses, sometimes in ways that harm rather than nurture the bond. Self-mastery demands that we pause and reflect, asking ourselves why we react a certain way, why certain words or actions provoke us, and whether our responses align with the kind of person we aspire to be. This awareness is not a one-time exercise, but an ongoing practice, as every interaction presents new opportunities to learn and grow. A key aspect of self-mastery is emotional regulation. Emotions are natural and inevitable, but they do not have to control us. In moments of conflict or tension, it is easy to let anger, frustration, or fear dictate our actions. However, self-mastery calls for a deeper level of control. It asks us to recognize our emotions without being overwhelmed by them, to acknowledge their presence without letting them dictate our words or actions. This does not mean suppressing emotions. Rather, it means channeling them constructively. For instance, anger can be a signal that something needs to be addressed, but addressing it with calm and clarity is far more effective than lashing out in the heat of the moment. Similarly, fear or insecurity may arise, but self-mastery enables us to confront these feelings with courage and self-assurance, rather than projecting them onto others. Another dimension of self-mastery in relationships is the ability to separate one's needs and expectations from the other person's autonomy. It is natural to have desires and hopes within a relationship, but problems arise when these turn into demands or conditions for connection. Self-mastery teaches us to manage our expectations and recognize that no one else is responsible for our happiness or fulfillment.